Let us pray. Lord, may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. Amen. Okay, I invite the youth to come forward. You are very brave to do this. Should I turn off my microphone if we're going to? Oh, wait, we're going to be out here in the front. Come on. Good, thank you. Did I lose one? She's coming. Okay. So since we haven't practiced with the microphone, first I'm going to let you take the mic and introduce yourself. Tell your name and which camp you went to, maybe the week you were there or whatever, okay? So we'll practice.
Hi, I'm Abby. I went to Sky Ranch week 3.
I'm Reese. I went to Rainbow Trail week 6.
I'm Owen. I'm going to Rainbow Trail next week.
I told y'all he was going today. He hasn't had another week yet. So we're just saying our name if you want to stand and introduce yourself.
I'm Addie.
And you were at which camp?
Rainbow Trail week 6.
They came back yesterday. So 2 of them came back yesterday. So I have some questions. I want you to tell me, let me open up my phone. Get to the right page. Okay. Tell me about your schedule of the day, like a couple of things that you did every day.
At Sky Ranch, we would wake up every morning really early and then go to First Word, and then after breakfast, we'd go to another worship service called Sundance. And then we'd go to night worship after dinner. So we had worship 3 or 4 times a day, depending on the day.
And some of you don't want to come weekly. What do you think of that? That's great.
So we woke up at 7, and then we did morning watch, and then we did breakfast, morning worship, and then you kind of had your day. Lunch is at 12. Parish time is at 4 to 5, or 5 to 6, and then dinner at 6, and evening worship after that.
Tell us some of the things you did during the day,
Like,
that didn't go with the worship and the.
the day before, you got to choose your schedule. So some of the options were you had pottery, wood carving, archery. You could have mixes between the two, multiple things like that. There was rafting one day, hiking was on Tuesday, and you had to wake up at 5:30 for that. Rafting was on Thursday, and then you got to choose what you wanted to do. There was also high ropes one day, so you got to pick that though.
So there were 3 hikes, 3 different level of hikes.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of them, but I went to West Cliff with Ladies Who Lunch. But the kids there was 3 different areas, and they went to Bowman Reservoir.
Yeah, Bowman Reservoir, Rainbow Trail, and Eagle Peak, so it's 4 miles for Bowman, 8 miles for Rainbow, and 14 miles for Eagle Peak.
And this was the first week that Eagle Peak was peaked by the group.
Yeah.
They made it up and back down, so there was a lot of celebration that night. Wouldn't you think that I'll be exhausted? No, they had a dance that night. And all danced.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, that was fun.
That was the all day.
Owen, have you been to camp before? Tell us what you're looking forward to.
Just from what Addie told me, I just heard that there were a lot of fun activities, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good, thank you for that. So tell a little bit about your cabin, where you stayed. What did that look like, and who were you with?
In my cabin, there was only a total of 3 people, so there was our counselor, and I had 1 cabin mate. And it was a pretty large cabin. and it was one of the only cabins that had heaters, so that was really appreciated.
It was that cold, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So our cabin was called Kinnikinnick, and so it was like shared and right and left. So I was on the right half, and there were two other girls with me, and three, and the counselor, and then on the other side there were 4 girls and the counselor as well. And then there was a tiny room in the middle, which we don't know what it does. There's just a random bunk in it.
So my cabin was lupine, which used to be the storage shed. So it was the smallest cabin. But I had 4 other cabin mates and then a counselor. But the good part about lupine was it was like in the center of everything. So we were always the first. I mean, we woke up at like 6:30, but we were always the first cabin to finish brushing their teeth and stuff. So.
Do you have an experience you want to share from the past?
I just remember the last time I went to Sky Ranch. I was one of the first groups that got to go in the new cabins.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, so I'd like for you to share something that you learned in your week there. Maybe from the Bible study, a special moment at worship, something that stood out to you during the week, one of the messages.
I learned that there's like many ways that God can touch you, and it's not always through the traditional like church worship. Some people would find God on like our hikes or in high ropes or other activities that we did, and that was really cool, I guess.
Thanks.
One part that really stood out to me was when in Bible study, when we read a little bit of the Bible, and it said that God trusted us with everything else. He said everything was good, and then when he got to us, he said it was really good. So that really stood out.
For me, it was, so we do like this thing called SWITs, which are, it's, staff witness. Yeah. And there was this one like staff member named Ken, and he gave like a really good SWIT about his faith journey, and it stood out for me because it was like, it's just did. Yeah.
Do you have something? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. Boundless Love was the theme for the confirmation camp this week at Rainbow Trail. And it was the first day was about creation, that God created all of this, the earth, the heavens, each and every one of us. The second was the length of God's boundless love is Jesus. The third, the depth of Wednesday, the depth of God's boundless love, talking about hurt. Is your cup half empty? Is it half full? And that spoke a lot to the kids that day. With all the different sharing that went on, that was powerful. The fourth, on Thursday, the height of God's boundless love is joy. And we talked about happiness versus joy, what the difference was. Do you remember that, what the difference is?
Yeah. Joy is everlasting, and happiness only lasts for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, happiness is like a single moment, and then
Right.
joy is forever.
They talked about like the rafting, how much fun they had, and that was, made you happy. But the joy that we can have even in the hurtful times, that God gives us that joy to last. And then yesterday was the fullness of God's boundless love, us, me. So, good. All right, next question. Give me your top 2 songs from camp that stay in your ear.
My favorite song from camp was a song called Jesus is My Rock and He Rolls My Blues Away. And I don't think anyone knows any of the verses. The verses make no sense. But there was a lot of moose
Do you want
around
to
Sky
show it to
Ranch. Not really.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the title is basically all the parts that I know.
Okay.
So, And so since there was a lot of violent, like aggressive moose on camp around Sky Ranch, you'd have to sing a song. And so most people would sing that just to scare away the moose so we wouldn't get charged again. And then my second favorite song was probably Grace Like Rain.
Yeah.
My favorite was called Pharaoh Pharaoh. It was very funny. And my second favorite was probably Grace Like Rain, too. It was a good song.
My favorite was a song called Light the Fire. And my second favorite song was called, what is it? It's called The Day of Elijah, I think.
Yes.
I don't remember any songs.
Owen looks forward to favorite songs
Yeah.
coming up next week. Good. All right. Thank you. I think that Grace Like Rain will be our praise song next month that we're doing. It's a beautiful song. Okay. What surprised you at camp?
Probably how like each year I keep going back, my experience changed. So like the first year I went, it was more about the people that I was there with because I went with friends that year. And now it's a lot more about like my faith journey and with God. And so it's really just like seeing how I've grown from 4 or 5 years ago.
Thank you.
The food.
Well, say more about the food, Addie.
It was really good. The chef was amazing. It was.
Except for on Hunger Meal,
Yeah, Hunger Meal wasn't good at all.
especially when you get white.
Or pink.
I think like the people there were all really nice. Like no one was like mean to anyone really. They were all like nice and helped you out and they were kind and stuff. So I mean I kind of expect them like that, but not exactly. So
I remember, I think I went 2 years. Both times we played this one game. I can't remember the name, but it was so fun. That's all.
How much fun you had. So the food is very good at our camps, and they're known for that. And one of the things, this chef is well known, but even before she was there, that's just the history of our camps, is that they have really good food. And when we'd take our kids to a hotel for, winter or Thanksgiving youth event, we went to YMCA Camp of the Rockies for that, or to a hotel for the winter, the kids were going, ew. Oh, and they didn't know that you weren't supposed to have good food at church camps, at retreats, and so that is very good. One of the things too, when you said that people were very nice to each other, it is wonderful as an adult to watch the interaction and the growth of the individuals and the groups throughout the week. With it being confirmation camp, there were all different age ranges, and to watch the little ones grow into relationships with the older ones, and the older ones be kind. They'd punch them some. That's okay. But really, the relationship and the growth of faith around there. It's a unique week of people caring for one another and working through the anxiety with it. So that for me, that was a big thing to see. All right, next, what is your favorite part of the whole week? What was one favorite thing?
I really liked high ropes just because previously we hadn't been able to do it just because of weather. There was a lot of lightning and that was like a danger. And so I got to do that this year. And the zip line's really fun. I learned that you shouldn't like run and jump off the zip line because it kind of just like pulls you back up. Kind of hurts a little bit, but I think I also really enjoyed just like my cabin mate because we were able to get really close and we still text daily to this day, although she lives quite far away.
Yeah, wonderful.
I was going to say the high ropes course too.
Well, tell about it.
It's really fun and it's a lot of like teamwork. So like one person in our group was afraid of heights, but she still did it because she knew that we were all counting on her and she was really proud after she got done with it.
My favorite was also high ropes. because it was a team building exercise, and like our group was laughing because on one of the obstacles, we were partnered up and we got across, and then the other two girls in our group took forever and they fell like a lot, but so they were just laughing the whole time. But that was fun, and I also liked rafting. That whitewater rafting was fun.
I sort of remember the high ropes course. I remember I just got to do it once, and it was just super fun because we all got to do it. And I remember there was one person, I think, that was scared of heights, but we all eventually cheered them on, and they finally got up.
That is the. So, have any of you seen high ropes? No, it is. Yeah, it's terrifying. When the adults said it's terrifying, and but to listen to them cheer each other on, and you got this, you can do this, and talk them through it. The same with peaking Eagle Peak or going up the mountain, any of the hikes. You say cheer each other on. You got this, and they say we just go slow together. You're never too slow. We just do it together, and yeah, y'all would be so proud. What are you going to miss?
I really miss already because it's been a few weeks, but I miss how it was there wasn't many distractions, and so you spent your whole day doing a lot of activities and things, and also it was just the kind of you were just spending all day and all night with your friends, and so I kind of miss that
Sure.
away from all the distractions down here part.
Good community.
Yeah, I would say the same, especially the people. They're really nice there, and the counselors and all the campers were actually surprisingly really nice.
I'm gonna miss my village because next year it's probably not gonna be the same, which is the group of people, 3 different bunks get turned into a village. It's confusing. It's you do your day with them. So, but next year I'm probably not gonna have the same village, so I miss that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm just really looking forward to it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And what Abby said was next year it'll be a different village. You'll be different, but that will be as meaningful. That she said each year she's had meaning with the groups that she's been with, and so it won't be replicated, but it will be good. It'll be a good thing as well too. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to share with this group or say to them?
I guess Sky Ranch was just a really fun experience that lets me grow in ways not only in my faith but also as a person, and all the staff there is really nice and just helps you with your individual journeys, and you're not judging other people for where they're coming from or what they're doing. It's a lot more accepting.
I just wanted to thank you because it was really fun. The week was really awesome.
Yeah, it was just really fun. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to next week, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for being up here too, Owen. You're a good person. So, one of the verses we read is, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." And that's from 1 Timothy 4. And they read that. And then another one from Ephesians 3. "For this reason I bow my knees before the Father, for whom every family in heaven and on earth takes its name. I pray that according to the riches of God's glory, he may grant that you may be strengthened in your inner being with power through God's Spirit, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith as you are being rooted and grounded in love. I pray that you may have the power to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. One of the blessings we did was did crosses on the foreheads. Well, we did that during the songs too, which was fun to run around and do that. But the last night we had a worship service out, and the fire was bright when we got there, and then it slowly diminished, and then we could see all the stars in heaven. There were no clouds that night. Oh my goodness, was it fabulous. And we were able to bless each one by saying their name. You are the fullness of God's love and God's crowning glory. And they truly are, as each and every one of you are. And we are all grateful for your support of these youth and the support of generations of campers who go there. My kids went there. My girls worked there. And it's now grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And these camps will be there forever if we continue to support them for the next generations. So we thank you for that. Which one of you would like to pray us out? They all prayed out loud out there. One of you? Would you? Please, let us pray.
Wait, let me think.
Whatever you want.
Dear God,
Just pray as if you're at camp.
I don't.
Okay.
Well, there's. Thank you for having the fun experience of going to camp, and hopefully, Owen has fun too when he goes, and yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Great.
Thank you so much. Well done.